Okay.
So I'm calling this segment Advice for Entrepreneurs. Advice
Okay.
for Entrepreneurs. So every week, man, I'm going to bring people like you, influencers, winners, doers, entrepreneurs, business owners, to a format like this, ask some questions, and the motivation is to inspire others to achieve the same or possibly do anything better. So
I love it.
I know a lot of people, man. I know millions of people. You're the first person I call on, brother. You're the first
Well, I
person I call on.
that. Very humbling. Very humbling.
Yeah, man. So real quick, to everybody out there in the internet world, this is my dear friend. He's like a brother to me. Matthew Welsh. I call him Matty. Matty is in financial services. He is somebody that I would consider very successful in all the stuff that he's done and have achieved thus far. I know he's only at like a fraction or a percent of what he's going to become. So, Matty, you want to give us a quick background about you, who you are, what you do, and yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, my name is Matthew Welsh. Thank you for the introduction. Also, just want to say thank you for having me on. Your show. I'm super excited to be here. Mike, you're one of my best friends growing up as well, and I'm just so excited to see Limelight Media Marketing just explode the way that you guys are.
Thank you, man.
Especially from where you guys started to where you guys are now. It's just absolutely phenomenal. But once again, my name is Matthew Welsh. I actually run a financial services brokerage here in San Diego. Some of our goals is to open up another 12 offices just this year alone in San Diego, another 50 offices over the next 5 to 6 years. And one of the things is yes, we do financial services, but one of the things that I specialize in is leadership development. I focus on building and developing leaders in order to open up more outlets throughout San Diego, throughout the United States.
Okay.
Because obviously the more locations we can open up, the more families that we're going to help.
Okay, right on. So I want to. So you're successful. You're successful. What? I want to go back. I want to go back to like elementary school. Okay.
Okay.
I like for me, I'm gonna give you like a little lead in. For me, I kind of found out like some of my potential when I was like 19, 20 when I first started the business, and like right before I got out of high school, I didn't know what I was gonna do. I thought if I could make $25 an hour as a meat cutter, I would be set. So I didn't really have some of these big dreams.
Yeah.
Like what were you thinking about? Kindergarten, let's say, first grade, second grade. Like what was the psyche and what did you want to become? And tell me about that. What was your mind like back then?
Well, all growing up, my dreams was actually to play professional soccer.
Okay.
I played soccer nationally for a little bit, but I played soccer since I was 3 years old.
Okay.
That was my goal. That was my dreams. That was what I wanted to do with my life. I wanted to be somebody who was known for doing something amazing.
Okay.
And to be honest, I didn't know at the time that it was going to be entrepreneurship and opening up businesses, but I knew that I wanted to be known for doing something big, for developing that legacy to become a legend.
Okay.
I knew that I would be a part of something that was bigger than me. And at that time growing up, it was soccer. I really wanted to be a professional soccer player.
Okay, so is there like first grade, second grade you wanted to be great?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ever since I was little, like I said, I just wanted to be a professional soccer player. I wanted to be somebody.
How good were you at soccer?
A lot of people, they just go through life and they settle and they're comfortable and they're complacent and they don't really go out and achieve their goals and dreams. And I'm sure you've heard this quote before that most people die at the age of 21.
Right.
They just don't get around to bury them until 65. Right. So growing up, I didn't really realize it. Like I said, I didn't realize that it was going to be entrepreneurship and building businesses. But I did know that I wanted to be somebody. I did know that I wanted to make a difference, and I did want to be somebody that was known for the difference that I made.
Okay, right on. So, how good were you at soccer? I know the answer, but to the people that don't know, how good were you?
I was pretty good. Obviously, you could always get better in anything that you do, but I would say I was pretty good. I played on a national level for quite some time, and had a lot of scouts looking at me and different things like that as well.
Okay, cool. What kind of student were you? Let's go like junior high, high school. What kind of student were you?
I was a terrible student. No, it wasn't that I was a terrible student. It's just that I didn't believe in education. I just didn't believe in the educational system.
Okay.
I believe in self-education, personal development. I remember when I was 15 years old, I got introduced to multi-level marketing at 15 years old. And,
tell us about that.
I started digging into like Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and all these books. And, in Rich Dad, Poor Dad talked about assets versus liabilities, the benefits of being a business owner rather than an employee, building your own dreams, rather than being hired by somebody else to build theirs. And I read those books, and so I started thinking more entrepreneurial minded. And as I was in multi-level marketing at 15, obviously my parents had to sign for me to be in it. I learned in order to be successful, you want to find people who are successful and duplicate what they're already doing.
Right.
And I looked at a teacher, and a teacher is a very noble position. But I also knew that teachers are only making around $30,000 to $50,000 per year.
Right.
And obviously, somebody who makes $30,000 to $50,000 per year, yes, they can give me value, but there's no way that they can teach me how to become successful and be a multimillionaire.
Right.
If they're not doing it themselves. You can only teach what you're already doing.
Straight up. Okay.
Best student. I just did enough to get by. Did enough to be able to play sports.
Okay.
To be honest with you.
Yeah, 100%. I on a different note, what's that second place plaque right behind you? Second place. No, I'm joking, man. You still on with me?
Yeah, I see you now.
Okay,
You're
cool.
Good.
So tell me about like I'm gonna come back to like your childhood in a second, but tell me like, so you got introduced to multi-level marketing. You started reading books about personal development, stuff like that. Like when did you kind of make that decision? Like, you know what, the 9 to 5, the college thing, that's not like really my gig. Like when did you say, I'm going to be an entrepreneur? When did that happen? When did you make that decision?
15 years old.
15 years old? Okay.
Yeah, 14 to 15 years old, and it was really because I started digging into, like I said, personal development. I started reading a lot of books. I started educating myself rather than letting the system educate me. I started to realize that a lot of the principles that I was reading in these books were a lot of the principles that I learned actually from my parents, not realizing that it was almost as if they were entrepreneurs in themselves.
Right.
My mother actually had the very first before and after school daycare program.
Yep.
She did too. Here in San Diego. It may not have been something that she did to make a lot of money, but she also had ownership in what she was building and doing.
Right.
And I saw the freedom that she had to be at every single one of my sports games. I also looked at my father, who started an automotive company, and he had it on auto shop, and then he saw that there was a lack of integrity in his partnerships, left it, and then started Barron Integrity Services, which was a contracting business. And I once again never made a lot of money, but I saw the ownership that they had over their time, and the fact that nobody was telling them when to show up, when to leave, how much an hour of their time was worth.
Sure.
Nobody decided those things; they decided it themselves. And so I kind of saw it firsthand as I started reading these books what ownership of time meant and how much more valuable time that was than money, and being able to have that time to do things that you love the most.
Okay, so who were you? So you made that decision in your teens. Who were you telling? Like your soccer pals and your buddies. Like who like were you expressing yourself? Like I'm going to be an entrepreneur, man. Like who were you telling? Were you telling anybody?
Everybody.
Everybody. What were they saying?
I wanted everybody to.
What were they saying? What was the kind of feedback?
Wasn't the most. I was an outgoing person who liked being with my close group of friends in a more introverted way in that sense. But when I got introduced to entrepreneurship and multi-level marketing and business, I knew that obviously if you want to market your business, you market it to as many people as humanly possible. So I actually made a list of over 100 people, of every single person that I knew. People, and I just called every single person almost like it was a cold call. But I called every single person to kind of get the word out.
And who told who told you to do that? How did you know to get that list?
My mentors in multi-level marketing.
Okay, cool, man. Cool. So let's, you exit high school. Did you kind of like give up your dreams to play soccer professionally, or how that whole thing?
When I got introduced to multi-level marketing, I realized, and please keep in mind, I'm not in multi-level marketing now.
Mm-hmm.
When I got introduced to multi-level marketing, I realized that it wasn't necessarily soccer that I was so in love with. Even though I do love soccer, don't get me wrong, but it was more the ability to compete. It was the competition. And when I started getting introduced to business and entrepreneurship, I realized that it was the most competitive sport that you will ever play in your entire life. Because it's not a 90-minute window of giving it everything that you've got. It's 365 days per year, 4 hours a day. The person who works the hardest, the person who gives it everything that they've got is going to get the most results at the end of the year. And so I knew, and I saw that in business, like I said, it wasn't a 90-minute window. It was on a 365-day game.
Yep.
And when I got into it, it became my passion. I got very competitive, and I wanted to focus on being the best in whatever it was that I was.
Okay. Cool, man. I agree with you 100%. I think that Mark Cuban talks about entrepreneurship as a sport, man. And most times, as long as you use your noggin, the person that pushes the hardest, dude, usually gets the result. When we were still in North Park, there was an internet marketing company on the corner. At 5 o'clock, they shut down, and on Saturday and Sundays, they shut down completely. And I would be with the crew. We would go to the Starbucks right there on the corner. We had our office, just half a mile away, and I always make fun of them, like, man, look at these guys, dude. They're not hustling. They're not grinding. 5 o'clock, done. Saturday, done. And I still think about it because I live in the area. Okay, cool. So, you wanted to be an entrepreneur. I mean, did you like what are your? A lot of people get weird when it comes to money, but I think that Okay, listen. The more people you help, what is what they say. The more value, the more money, right? How much motivation for you is where's money on the list as far as motivation? As far as like focus and priority.
That's a really good question. At the very beginning, it was, to be honest with you, it was a lot about the money.
Okay.
It was about love, the Rolls Royces, the cars,
the lifestyle.
It was the lifestyle. It wasn't necessarily the money, but it was the lifestyle that the money could bring and the options that it could provide. And so for me, I fell in love with the lifestyle. I fell in love with the ability to be free. I didn't want to work for somebody the rest of my entire life. So when it comes to money, it is high up there. Don't get me wrong.
Okay.
But it's not the money itself, but what you can do with it. And one of the things that I've realized as I don't consider myself to be somebody who's successful yet, because obviously, you got to compare yourself. Compared to what? There's people making $1 million a second, and I'm not at that level yet. So that's what I would consider, successful when it comes to business, is the amount of profit that they're bringing in. And so, yes, it's high up there, but like I said, it's just the options that it can provide. For me, like I said, my dad was battling an illness for the last 8.5 years now. He's been battling cancer, and he had a heart attack on Christmas. And those things that I knew that if I didn't bring in money and didn't make money, then our family would lose the home. I knew that if I didn't make money, then our family would struggle, that we could lose everything that we had, that my father would have to continue working while going through chemo. And so, yes, money was a very important thing, to be honest with you, especially as I got into business, because it wasn't a matter of I want to make money. It was, no, I have to make money in order for my family to survive.
Okay. And then if money's not the number one thing, let's kind of like talk a little more about today. If money's not like the number one thing, what is your purpose right now in business? What is your purpose maybe in life? What is man, the money's great. Of course, we could all use some extra money, but what is it that just really gets you going, man? Like, what are you really passionate about in business?
What really gets me passionate at this time is to watch people that I've been able to train and lead grow and just blossom, to be honest with you. It's my biggest thing. When it comes to my purpose, one of the things that I believe my purpose is my number one goal is to lead America out of corporate slavery through entrepreneurship, mindset, and the development of leadership. And so for me, I'm very, very focused on leadership development. How can I inspire others to chase their goals and dreams? How do I inspire others to take ownership over their life? How do I inspire others to become the best version of themselves in every single category, whether it's health, whether it's business, whether it's, their marriage, their family life, whatever it is. I just want to inspire people to become the best version of themselves in everything that they do. And so that's really my main purpose right now is, lead people out of corporate slavery. I look at, Martin Luther King, somebody who, and it's coming up on Monday, right?
Yep.
Martin Luther King is somebody who's a legend for, leading people out of slavery. You look at Gandhi as a legend, as somebody who led people out of slavery. You look at somebody like Abraham Lincoln, who's a legend for leading people out of slavery and helping with that. For me, my number one goal is to who's remembered for the difference that we've made in the world, for leading people out of corporate slavery. I'm helping them realize where they're really at. I heard a quote the other day that said, how can you escape prison if you don't know that you're in one?
Exactly.
Right? So you see a lot of people that they're in their own mind. They're incarcerated into their own mind, into their work environment, and they don't know anything else, so they don't even realize that they're in a prison. And I want to help bring that to light so that way people could really go after what they are truly capable of.
what's the difference of somebody sitting dormant in a prison, or someone that just has like a lower level of thinking versus someone that's like free? Like someone that thinks there's no limitation. Like, what's the difference of those two people? Two hands, two legs, two eyeballs, brain in the middle of the skull. Like, what's the difference of
mindset?
Okay,
100%. Yeah, because I look at business as well. It doesn't matter how tall, it doesn't matter how short, because I'm not the tallest of them. It doesn't matter how short. It doesn't matter your race. None of that matters. It all comes down to what you put through your mind and the way that you think.
Okay.
You look at books that have come out like Think and Grow Rich, and
right.
All these entrepreneurial books, and every single book has one thing in common. It talks about changing your thinking.
Okay.
Because if you can begin to change your thinking, you'll change your life. And so one of the things that separates the people who have settled from people who are world-class thinkers is their mindset.
Right.
One person thinks from abundance. One person thinks from scarcity. One person plans paycheck to paycheck. One person, plans for generations to come.
Right.
And so the difference in mindset, I think, is what truly separates them.
Is there strategies? Is there exercises people can do to strengthen their mindset?
Absolutely.
Hey, Matthew. I never been a leader. I never played sports growing up. I'm an introvert, man. Like, I don't know if this would work for me. Like, what do you tell somebody like that? Like, how do you help somebody like that?
Well, number one, they got to get out of their own head. You just said some of the things that you just said that you're never this, or that's not me.
Right.
Well, for me, I battled a lot with growing up with anxiety. I used to have really bad anxiety attacks. I had 72 absences per semester.
Wow.
The reason soccer became my passion was because it was my outlet. It was a way for me to escape. It was the only place that I felt comfortable. It was the only place that I felt at peace. And so one of the things that I had to do, because like I said, I used to experience anxiety attacks all the time, I had to train my mind I had to train myself through self-talk. So for instance, a couple of things that I started doing is I read a lot of books, number one, because what goes through you sticks to you, and whatever you think about. So I actually eliminated all negativity. Anything that was negative, I didn't allow it to go through my mind. I got rid of, TV shows. I got rid of associations that were not uplifting.
Okay.
And I made sure that my mind was positive and something that was going to help get me closer to my dreams, because I knew that if it was going through my mind, it was going to stick to my mind. And then whatever you think about comes about. And so I knew that it all came back to my mindset. And so I focused on personal development, books, CDs, things like that. Another thing that I did to help reprogram my subconscious mind is I have affirmations.
Okay.
I have a list of things that I tell myself every single morning.
Wow.
And every single thing. And I look myself in the mirror every single morning, the first thing when I wake up, and I tell myself the things that I'm grateful for. I tell myself who I am, what I believe, what I'm going to accomplish, what type of person I am.
Yeah.
And I do that every morning and every night. And I begin to control the beginning of my day, and I begin to control the end of my day.
That's strong.
And if you can control the beginning and the end, the middle will work itself out. And so I learned to reprogram my mind through self-talk.
Right. Yeah, 100%. Okay, cool. So we'll wrap up like a 5. I want to ask a couple more questions. Then I want to just kind of just do, you to spit for us and just tell us what you would recommend, suggest to inspiring entrepreneurs. But real quick, how important is sales in entrepreneurship? How important is sales for what you do?
Sales is important in everything that you do in life, right?
Okay.
I think so often in times, for instance, I sat down with somebody yesterday, and they were telling me like, "Oh, Matthew, I'm not a salesperson."
Right.
I said, "What do you mean, salesperson?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Let me ask you a question. Do you ever go out to dinner or anything like that with your significant other?" They go, "Yeah, absolutely." I said, "Have you guys ever been in a situation where you wanted to go to one restaurant and they wanted to go to another restaurant?" They were like, "Yeah." I said, "Well, which restaurant did they go? Which restaurant did you guys go to?"
Right.
The restaurant that I wanted to go to. I was like, "Well, you just sold them on going to your restaurant."
Right.
So I put in that perspective because everything that you do in life is selling. You are either being sold or you are selling. And so might as well, take the upper hand in learning to close, learning to sell. It's one of the most important things that you can do. Being an entrepreneur, one of the biggest things is not necessarily selling your product, but selling yourself.
Of course.
Because people don't buy what you do, they buy who you are.
Right.
And so you sell a product or a service, you need to also learn to sell yourself.
Right.
Because once again, people are going to buy you. So very, very important.
Yeah. Even in the corporate world, they say that when you go into an interview, sell yourself. Your nice tie. My Gucci coat, man. That's a sell, baby.
That's it.
Right. Okay. Cool. Damn, man, you look good, dude. You look good. On a side note, man. Honestly, you are one of the most positive people, I've ever known. You're one of the most positive people. You have tons of energy. I mean, your voicemail is uplifting. I can't repeat it verbatim, but it's like, have a beautiful day or whatever the heck it is. Every time I call you, I'm like, hey man, how you doing? Happy New Year, dude. Unfreaking believable, awesome. I got so and so that's getting promoted, or I'm doing this. Or I'm about to go speak on stage in front of thousands of people. I'm over in this city, so I think that has a lot to do with it, man. Like for me, I pay very close attention how people talk, and at Limelight we created like a fake world almost, and it's probably similar to yours, where everyone under this roof at Limelight is positive, motivated. They say the right things, and if they're not in line with those things, they really don't fit in. You know what I mean? And when we leave these walls, I go back into the real world, and you'll go to Starbucks and you'll hear how people talk. You'll hear how college students talk. It's like, we'll see how I do on this final. I've interviewed. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna go do this, and I don't know. Maybe we'll see. I don't know. And like for me, I think that like we're always lying to ourselves.
Yeah.
And I rather lie about something that's uplifting and positive and better, as opposed to lying about something that's going to bring me down. When somebody says I can't get a job because no one's hiring, I think they're lying. When I see an entrepreneur that's on the come up, that hasn't made it yet, and says I'm super successful, in my mind I'm free, I'm abundant, I'm a multimillionaire, I think they're lying. But I think that whatever you listen to is what you create. Just everything you're saying into fruition. So I'd rather lie about the other one. As we wrap up, man, what advice do you have about entrepreneurs, man? Whether it's work ethic, mindset, like I want to start a business, man, and I don't know where to start. I'm a one-man show, but I have some skills. What's the good, the bad, and the ugly of entrepreneurship? Free reins.
Well, a couple of things. Number one, I think that it's important to focus on doing something that you love.
Right.
In entrepreneurship, you need to work, hours that people are not willing to work in order to get results that people are not going to get. And so you need to do something that you love and that you're passionate about, because if you love it, you're passionate about it, then it's no longer work. You can work 16-hour days, and it's like you didn't even work 2 hours. People always ask me all the time, Matt, how come you work 12 to 16-hour days? I tell people that I work half days every day, 12-hour days.
Yeah.
And people ask, like, how do you do many hours? And it's because I'm not working. I'm passionate about what it is that I'm doing. And so at the end of the day, I don't feel like I'm working. I just feel like I'm just doing what I love the most, and that's bringing me one step closer to my goals and dreams. Another thing that I would mention, number two, is you need to work every single day like somebody's working 24 hours a day to take it away from you.
Okay.
And when I say that, I mean that hard work beats talent when talent is sleeping. I may not have been the most talented person on the soccer field. I may not be the most talented person in business. But if there's one thing that I do bring to the table, I would say it's just a ridiculous, sickening work ethic.
Okay.
While the other guys, resting, taking a break, sleeping, eating, I'm working. While the other guys sleeping I'm working. While the other guys going home early, I'm working. And so if there's another thing that I would bring to the table, I would say it's a sickening work ethic. Number three, I would say if you want to win in business and in entrepreneurship, you got to focus on your personal development. How many books are you reading? Whatever goes through you, sticks to you. Whatever you think about comes about. So you got to make sure that 110% you're reading the books, you're listening to audios. For me, it's January. The first 2.5 weeks of January already, I've already read 3 different books, and I'm right now in the process of reading 2 books that I should finish by the end of this week. And so, just in January alone, there'll be about 4 or 5 books already by the end of this week that I've finished. So you got to focus on your personal growth. Your income grows at the rate that you do. Okay. So if you were not growing as a person, not only in business but in life and in your thinking, then your income is going to be the exact same. It talks about in the book Secrets to the Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker. It talks about how you are a thermostat, and if your mindset is at 70 degrees, and you make an 80-degree income one month,
sure.
if you don't raise your identity and your mindset stays at 70 degrees,
right.
the AC's turn on, it's going to bring you back down to your level.
That's right. Man.
So you got to make sure that in order to grow your income, you got to grow yourself. Another thing that I would mention is you got to be consistent.
Okay.
Right? Most people are not consistent. Once again, you don't have to be the most talented. You may not have to be the best speaker. But if you're just consistent, you'll beat a lot of people. Right? One of the things that separates a lot of the middle class from the world class is that the majority of the population, they're not consistent. They say that they're going to do things, but they don't ever do it. They say that they're going to work X amount of hours, but they don't ever do it.
Yeah.
They say that they're going to this amount of appointments, they don't ever do it. They say that they're going to work 7 days a week, yet you see them 2 days a week. So, or they'll do it for 3 days in a row. They're really, really excited.
Yeah.
And then one thing happens, adversity happens, and then they stop. And so it's just staying consistent through all of it. And finally, one of the things that I would focus on is focus on impact. And what I mean by that is, if you look at the majority of the population, they're focused on living, paying their bills, they're living paycheck to paycheck.
Yep.
And obviously, if that's the life that you want to live, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you want to be successful, right? If you want to become world class, if you want to become wealthy, and to be honest with you, like I said, I don't think that I'm successful. I don't think that I'm world class yet. I'm just striving to be there. And this is one of the things that I've learned about successful and wealthy people is that they focus on impact. They're focused on, how can I impact the community? I actually posted a video like this on my Instagram a couple of days ago. They focus on impacting their community. They focus on impacting their country. Their focus is impacting the world. They know that their income is going to be a direct reflection of the amount of people that they help. Right. And so if you want to get a big income, you need to focus on helping a lot of people. How many lives can you change? How can I make a difference? How can I help other people become the best version of themselves? And if you can change your thinking and have a shift in thinking from just making money to focus on impacting the world and making a difference, you're going to see a dramatic change in your lifestyle, a dramatic change in business, and people will also respect you a lot more because the reason for what you're doing is more than just money. And I think that's important as well. It's that integrity side of things.
Right. Cool, man. So he's not going to tell you, man, but I'll touch on it. This guy's making money. Dude. And guys, for you guys out in YouTube world, man, he's talking about love what you do. You need to have a ridiculous work ethic, bust your ass, work hard, man. I'm tired. He's tired. Who cares? Keep going. He's talking about personal development, reading books, working on yourself. Matt's talking about be consistent, pretty much do what you say. I know people that, they want to do this, they want to do that, and they call, they're like, you know what, Mike, I can't show up on Monday. I need to reschedule. And they don't make that. They're not consistent, man. And it's okay to do it one day, but I mean, could you keep up and keep going, week after week, year, month, forever? Could be consistent. He's talking about impact, make an impact on people, be an influence on people, be an impact on your community, your associates, your family, your friends. And man, I just want to appreciate you.
There's one more thing that I would want to mention in there. People think that just because they're young, they can't win in business, right? And they think that
I'm only 20 years old.
Young, age is a limiting factor. And when I say firsthand that age is just a number, age does not determine wisdom.
Right.
100%. I started at 19 years old in financial services. By the time I was 20, I was making six figures.
Come on now.
Just turned 21. Just turned 21.
Let me put my shades on, man, because you're on fire. Okay. I think it goes back to this. It's a limited belief. I'm only 20 years old, man. There's no way in heck I can do this. Okay, cool, man. Yeah. So we'll wrap up. Where do people find you, man? What's the Instagram, Facebook? How do people, connect with you?
Well, the best way to follow me on Instagram, it's Matty, Matty, _ Welsh, WELSH. So Matty _ Welsh. You can find me on Instagram. I'm posting motivational videos, motivational quotes. Like I said, my number one goal is to inspire people to become the best version of themselves. And if I can help do that in any way, I would love to be able to do so. Facebook, you can just look me up as Matty Welsh. Anything like that will pop up on Facebook, and you can find me on that social media. But Another place that you can find me in the very near future is going to be on the cover of Forbes. So you'll definitely look me up there.
Cool, man. Cool. Matty, I appreciate you, brother.
You, Mike. Thank you so much. I love you guys.
Love you, dude.
Also, just give a shout out to Limelight Media and Marketing. This is the best marketing company that you will ever have do work for you. And so if I can suggest anything in the world, and I know this because I have personal friends who are entrepreneurs that I've sent to Limelight Media and Marketing that were just absolutely blown away with what Limelight was able to do. So if I can suggest something, if you're an entrepreneur, you're a business person, you're looking to get websites, marketing, promotional videos, whatever it is, go to Limelight Media and Marketing, contact Mike Barron, and they'll definitely take care of you guys. I promise you that.
I appreciate you, man. Give me your address. I can send you a check for the shout out. I appreciate it, dude.
Sounds good.
Okay, brother.
Good.
Boom. Okay, cool. So we're done. We're done, man. That was pretty fun.
Yeah, it was good, man. Did I bring value?
Oh, dude, of course, man. Of course, dude. You know, honestly, I told you already. I've come across maybe 2-3 people that are in not your organization, but within the family. And I tell them I know you, and they're like, "Holy shit, no way." I think you just bring a different kind of swag, dude. I think it's because, honestly, I think it's because the result you're getting, but also because your age. Because there's a lot of people on the come up that are 20, 21 years old. And also you have that appeal, dude. You got that ridiculous confidence, and you got the fucking good looks and the hair and the nice dress and the nice smile and all that shit, dude. And you're just a great person. So. Yeah, man. Okay, dude, I'm not going to hold you up, dude. I know how busy you are. So I'm going to let you jam. And let's connect real soon, bro.
Hey, where do I find this interview at?
I'm gonna put it on YouTube, but I'm gonna have my guy put like a thumbnail and stuff like that. So I'm thinking about putting it up Monday, but you'll be the first person that gets it.
Sounds good, brother. Hey, well, I appreciate you, man. I love you, brother.
Yeah.
Let's go grab some food and stuff like that sometime, okay?
Okay, we'll get together, dude. Love you, man.
All right, man.
Appreciate you, bro. Take care. Peace.